Welcome back to Mock Draft Madness. We are at day 9 of doing a mock draft every single day until the NFL draft on April 25th. As always, if you don't know ball and want to know ball, be sure to subscribe, leave a like. Let me know in the comments your favorite and least favorite pick from this mock draft. Just a little bit of news from today. Not really going to affect the mock draft much, but just kind of want to put it out there. The Texans did sign an interior defensive lineman that the Jags released. I don't have his name in front of me currently right now, and I'd probably butcher it. But the New England Patriots also traded Mac Jones to the Jaguars for a 6th-round pick. Now, I have been on the train that I think the Pats, possibly could be looking to move down and secure a ton of picks instead of taking a quarterback. But I don't know. Now I'm kind of leaning. I know Mac Jones wasn't the answer for them, but now with him gone, they really need to get a quarterback in that room, and I think it's going to be a rookie. So just to start it out here, we are going to go Caleb Williams to the Bears. That is what I think is most likely to happen. I've had Jaden Daniels kind of go number 2 to the Commanders because these spots are less sure than spots number 1 and then number 4, which I'll get to at these first 3 picks. I am just going to mix it up here. So I'm going to have Drake May going to the Commanders and then Jaden Daniels going to the New England Patriots. So now, this is the other pick that I really think is probably going to be the reality is Marvin Harrison Jr. going to the Arizona Cardinals. So one of the trades I am going to execute today, I'm going to do a little bit later, but it's going to have to do with the Buffalo Bills coming up to select one of the top 3 receivers. Is it likely? Probably not. But at the end of the day, I think we should try it out. We got a comment talking about the Bills trading up, and we know the Bills are willing to trade up for guys that they think can be the guy for them. And pairing him with Stephon Diggs, if the Bills view this as their Super Bowl window, maybe this is someone they want to go get. So at number 5, the Los Angeles Chargers are sitting here, and, here's my thing with the Chargers. They are really over the cap, and they're not super far away. But at the same time, do I see them taking one of the receivers off the board? No. Do I see them taking Brock Bowers off the board? No. I see them realistically taking a tackle. And if we're going to execute the Bills trade, I don't think they're going to come up this high to 5. I really do not. But if they do, I would see them having to trade within that top 10 if they're going to want to get a receiver of the top 3. So we're going to have the Buffalo Bills trading all the way up with the last Los Angeles Chargers, and it is going to take a haul. So I don't know if this is how much you want to give up for a receiver. And honestly, this is probably the stupidest trade we're going to make in these mock drafts. But at the end of the day, we have to make it at least some bit fun because we're going to be doing 50 days of these guys. Let's try to mix it up, do some different scenarios. And this is what one of the comments wanted. So if this is going to be the case, you are going to have to give up a first, a second, a first swap this year, a first, second, and third next year, and we're going to force this trade through because this is a lot to move up. But if you're a Chargers fan, you have a lot of ammo going forward these next 2 years, and you've already got Justin Herbert on the deal, so it's not like you're trying to win on that rookie contract anymore. This is how you get the cheap contracts. So we're going to force that trade through. And now the Bills are on the clock at 5. So I am going to have them taking Rome Odunze, kind of a different type of receiver than Stephon Diggs. Not to say Malik Neighbors is the same, but I think you get a little bit more height in there with a Rome Odunze. So now we're sitting at number 6 with the New York Giants. Now you could take J.J. McCarthy. You could take a tackle. You could take even a wide receiver. You could take Malik Neighbors, which I think is going to be the case here. So now you have Daniel Jones has a weapon, whoever you take in the first round, or whoever's going to be your quarterback, whether it's Daniel Jones, another quarterback, that's going to be your guy. So now we have the Tennessee Titans on the board, and I think Joe Alt here makes a lot of sense. If Joe Alt falls to 7, it should not be a question that he is going to be your guy going forward. At number 8, we have the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I think if they aren't able to get Kirk Cousins, and they are not able to get like a Justin Fields or another quarterback, they're going to have to go quarterback here. So I'm going to have J.J. McCarthy to the Atlanta Falcons. At number 9, if the top 2 receivers are not here, I do think the Bears are going to trade back, and the Buccaneers want to come up. I don't know why they'd want to come up unless you want to go and grab I don't it says they want to come up, but I wonder what they'd want to come up for. So what I'm going to do is, let's see who's on the board here. I have this spot usually as a spot where I'll have the Bengals trade up and try to get like one of the try to get Brock Bowers. I think that really makes a lot of sense for them. But I'm trying to think of who else can move up here, because I really do think that if Neighbors, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Odunze are off the board, I don't see them staying at 9. All right, I'm going to do an interesting trade here. I am going to just go back a couple spots with the Indianapolis Colts. So we're going to swap first-round picks, and we'll pick up their second this year. And we're going to go back to pick 15. And what the Colts are going to do here is they're going to give another pass catcher for Anthony Richardson. Now, you have Michael Pittman Jr., you have Brock Bowers, you have Josh Downs, you have Alec Pierce. That is a lot of weapons for a second-year quarterback to work with. And with Shane Steichen running the offense, I think there is a lot of excitement in the Indianapolis locker room. At number 10, they're going to go tackle here, guys. Whether that is Talise Fuaga, Olu Fashanu, as Olu continues to drop, I'm going to go with Talise Fuaga. I think it fits them better than Olu would. At number 11, we have the Minnesota Vikings, who are kind of out at this point of the first 4 quarterbacks. And if Kirk walks, which in this scenario he probably doesn't. So let's look at that. If he's not going to Atlanta, I don't think he's really going to go anywhere else unless he goes to like Denver or something like that. So you have an interesting pick here. You could go one of the edges. You have all the top edges on the board, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give him Dallas Turner, one of the freakiest edges in the class, super athletic, and I think he'd fit Brian Flores' defense well, and it just gives him a weapon to work with. The Brian Flores defense last year was already pretty good, and in my opinion, if you add like a great talent like Dallas Turner, it's going to get even better. So now we have the Denver Broncos at number 12. This is an interesting pick here. You could grab a corner to pair with Pat Surtain. You also do need edge rush help. So I could see them taking Laiatu Latu or like a Jared Verse, but I honestly think pairing Pat Surtain with like a Terrion Arnold gives you one of the best secondaries in, like the first 2 cornerbacks in the league. Like the 1-2 punch, probably one of the best in the league if Terrion Arnold ends up being what he's supposed to be. At number 13, I have the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, I have gone defense historically for them. Not historically. In the 9 days of doing mock drafts, for the series, I've done more mock drafts than 9 days, believe me. But I am going to give them a tackle. Now, I think Olu Fashanu, I believe he was a left tackle. You could go J.C. Latham here as well, which I think I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to give them J.C. Latham and add to their line. At number 14, we have the New Orleans Saints. I think if Olu Fashanu is here, you can go there. And then you have Ryan Ramczyk, Trevor Penning, and Olu Fashanu. Ramczyk's knee is not holding up all that well. So now we are back on the clock with the Chicago Bears. So at 15, I think defense becomes a little bit more realistic, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them Brian Thomas Jr. because I think if you're going to be taking Caleb Williams, you need to give him all the offensive weapons you can. You've invested in defense already in the last draft and free agency. It is time to build the offense. At number 16, we have the Seattle Seahawks, and with Jared Verse here on the board, I think it is a very easy pick. This draft has a good depth at the interior O-line position, and you can fix up that interior O-line with your 3rd round pick. At number 17, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think with the fact that they re-signed their guards, you can just implement Jackson Powers Johnson right here to fix your center position, but I also think a guy like Quinyon Mitchell or a Nate Wiggins or a Cooper DeJean could be a great pick for the Jacksonville Jaguars, so I think I'm going to give them Cooper DeJean. At number 18, we have the Cincinnati Bengals with Jerzon Newton sitting here right on the board. I think that is an easy pick for them as well. At number 19, we have the Los Angeles Rams. So they need D-line help. They need maybe Man, that's the second time I did that. I'm going to give them Byron Murphy. I would like to see him next to Aaron Donald. And with the Bengals and the Rams, it really could be flipped with these IDLs. Depends on who you want. I think as we get closer to draft time, we're really going to see what teams start to prefer, whether that is Jerzon Newton or Byron Murphy. At number 20, I am going to give the Pittsburgh Steelers Quinyon Mitchell and pair him up with Joey Porter Jr. I think you start to have a scary secondary with JPJ, Quinyon Mitchell, and Micah Fitzpatrick. At number 21, I'm all over the place, guys. I'm tired today. At 21, we have the Miami Dolphins. They definitely need O-line help, and I think Troy Fontanu could be a good fit here. I think Grant Barton could be a good fit here. I think Jackson Powers-Johnson could be a good fit here. Obviously, with Brock Bowers off the board, I don't really see that happening. So I'm going to give them Jackson Powers-Johnson because he is really more of a dedicated center prospect. He can play interior as well. He could also play. We could also do a Zach Frazier play. Now let's see what so they are a little bit light on draft compensation this year. So let's see if there's a team that maybe needs a receiver that wants to come up here. So at the NFC, we have, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to have the Miami Dolphins trading up with the Detroit Lions, and I'm going to have them give them their second, and we're going to do a swap here. And we are actually maybe, I don't know. I feel like a 61 isn't too high. It's only to move up 8 spots, and it's in the late first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them give them their second. We're going to force that trade through. So now I am going to give Laiatu Latu to the Detroit Lions. At number 22, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. They do need a linebacker here. They do need some receiver help. I don't know if that's really the route they're going to go in the first round, considering the fact that, they do have A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. They more need like a wide receiver 3 type. So I don't know what we should do here, guys. I'm thinking with the Kevin Byard walking, maybe we give them a safety in Tyler Nubin and see how that works out for them. I know Tyler Nubin is probably my safety 1 in the draft, and now we're sitting here with the Houston Texans at number 23. So we could go pass catcher here, guys. We could. I've gone defense quite a bit lately. So what I think I'm going to do is I am going to give them Adonai Mitchell to pair up with Nico Collins and Tank Dell. At number 24, we have the Dallas Cowboys. They definitely need interior help, and Jackson Powers-Johnson is sitting right here for them. I think that just makes perfect sense with Tyler Biadasz being a free agent. At number 25, we have... this is the issue I ran into the other day. With the corners on the board here, Nate Wiggins is obviously the best guy on the board, but he's one of those guys that it's like, I believe he can be a good corner in the league, but I don't know if I want my team to be the team to find out if he is. But it's almost like with Tyler Nubin off the board, I think Nate Wiggins is the pick here. I think if he's sitting there at 25, you kind of have to take him. At number 26, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They need help with their interior. I'm going to give them Troy Fautanu. He could play all interior spots. He played tackle in college, but he would fit well in their interior. At number 27, we have the Arizona Cardinals, and what I'm going to do is I could give them Zach Frazier. I could give them Tyler Guyton. I could give them Amarius Mims. I could give them Graham Barton. I think if you want to solidify that line, Graham Barton is a lot safer than an Amarius Mims or a Tyler Guyton, and I think he can play all interior spots. So I think that makes a lot of sense once you put him next to Paris Johnson Jr. At number 28, we have the Los Angeles Chargers, who racked up a big haul to move all the way back here. Now, look at all these picks we got, guys. We have so many picks. So I think what we should do is probably do best player available. Now, I think what they need to probably target, they could target cornerback, but I don't necessarily love any of the guys here, and I don't necessarily love any of the guys in the wide receiver room at pick 28 as well. So we got to see what we really want to do here. We could give them, who's the next edge on the board? You know what? Let me give them Chop Robinson with the way that, Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack very realistically could be cut tomorrow or traded for cheap. So let's give them an edge to kind of revitalize their defensive line. At number 28, we have the Miami Dolphins, who recouped some draft capital this year, and they need O-line help. I'm trying to remember. Oh, they do need center. So I'm going to give them Zach Frazier. I think would plug and play at center. He's more of a true center, though, not really a guy that's going to play the other guard spots. So if they need a center, which they do, Zach Frazier is a good pick for them. Now we have the Baltimore Ravens, Amarius Mims, Tyler Guyton. I'm going to go Tyler Guyton here. Learn behind Morgan Moses, Ronnie Stanley. He needs a year to develop, in my opinion. Guyton is a raw prospect, but can be a great addition for any team. At number 31, we have the San Francisco 49ers. I am going to give them Amarius Mims. They need to replace McKivitz, and it's another thing where it's like if McKivitz need to play one more year, Mims can sit and develop. At number 32, our final pick of the mock draft. I'm going to get a little crazy with this one. I really like Ricky Pearsall out of Florida, and I think it would be a very cool addition to the Kansas City Chiefs. So this has been my mock draft madness day 9. We switched it up a little bit. Let me know in the comments what your favorite pick is, what your least favorite pick is. Leave a like. If you don't know ball and want to know ball, be sure to subscribe. Let me know in the comments as well trade suggestions so we can try it. I did the Buffalo Bills one based on a comment that I got, I want to say not yesterday's mock draft but the day before. So I will get to them. I want to try them because it screws up the whole board in a good way and allows me to do something a little bit different for you guys to play out different scenarios. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your night.